Hi, Film Loom here. Today I'm going to explain an action/adventure movie called Uncharted. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The film opens with Nathan Drake, a professional thief and part-time bartender, in a perilous situation. He's dangling thousands of feet above the ocean, entangled in cargo hanging from a plane. Using his remarkable athleticism, Nate manages to pull himself back into the aircraft. However, his relief is short-lived as a vintage car rolls down the open cargo ramp, colliding with him. On the verge of falling to his death, a hand reaches out and grabs him, saving him from the plummet. The scene then transitions to a flashback, taking us 15 years into the past in Boston. A teenage Nate is seen hanging precariously from a museum balcony. His older brother, Sam, prevents him from falling. We learn that the brothers are attempting to break into the Boston National Museum to steal the original map of Ferdinand Magellan's expedition. Legend has it that Magellan's circumnavigation was actually a quest to find a hidden gold treasure. Magellan never returned, leading to the belief that the treasure remains hidden somewhere. Sam intends to use the map to locate this legendary hoard. He attempts to pick the lock of the display case containing the map. However, the alarm is triggered, and the brothers are caught. They are taken back to the orphanage where they live. This is revealed to be Sam's third offense for theft. The head nun, in charge of the orphanage, makes the difficult decision to expel Sam, separating him from Nate. Shortly after, Nate finds Sam sneaking out of the orphanage. Sam promises his younger brother that he will return one day, and they share a heartfelt embrace. The narrative then returns to the present day, where a grown-up Nate works as a bartender in New York City. He is charismatic and skilled at pickpocketing without arousing suspicion. Nate demonstrates his talent by distracting a wealthy woman with a lighter and swiftly stealing a diamond bracelet from her wrist. Nearby, Victor Sully Sullivan, a seasoned fortune hunter, observes Nate's skillful theft. He approaches Nate and offers him a chance to join an expedition. Nate declines the offer and politely dismisses Sully. However, he soon discovers that Sully has stolen the bracelet from his pocket, leaving behind a business card. After his bartending shift, Nate goes to the address on the card, which leads him to Sully's apartment. During their conversation, Sully reveals that he was working with Sam years ago, suggesting a connection between Nate's past and the present opportunity. This revelation piques Nate's interest and sets the stage for their adventure. Sully reveals he anticipated Nate's arrival and discloses the location of the stolen bracelet. Nate retrieves it but notices something that stops him. The original Magellan map is displayed in the room. Sully then reveals his connection to Nate's past, stating he worked with Sam. This revelation leads to a discussion about Magellan's voyage, financed by the influential Moncada family, known for their historical atrocities. Sully explains that Sam helped him steal Eduardo Elcano's diary, the captain of Magellan's ship. This diary contains crucial clues that could lead them to the hidden gold. Sully then offers Nate a partnership in the treasure hunt, an offer Nate readily accepts. The next day, Sully outlines the first step, acquiring an ancient golden cross, one of two keys to finding the treasure. Sully already possesses one cross, the other is up for auction at a New York museum. They anticipate Santiago Moncada, the Moncada family's eldest son, will attempt to purchase it, as it is a family heirloom. Nate is tasked with disabling the museum's electrical grid, while Sully will steal the cross during the ensuing chaos. A few days later, they attend the auction. Initially, their plan proceeds smoothly. Both men are focused on their respective roles, determined to secure the golden cross. However, their plans are complicated by the appearance of Jo Braddock, a ruthless mercenary working for Santiago Moncada. She confronts Sully, implying she knows their intentions. Despite this setback, they proceed with their plan. Nate sneaks into the museum's control room, preparing to cut the power. However, he is intercepted by Moncada's large Scottish henchman. Meanwhile, in the auction hall, Sully stalls for time by bidding against Moncada, fully aware he lacks the funds to compete. Nate manages to escape the henchman and devises an alternative diversion. He swings from a chandelier, creating a significant commotion. Sully uses this opportunity to quickly change into a museum security guard uniform. He then attempts to steal the cross amidst the chaos. Sully takes the suitcase containing the cross, pretending to secure it in a safety locker. Instead, he heads to the parking lot where Nate waits in a car. The next phase of their plan takes them to Barcelona, where they meet Sully's associate, Chloe Frazer, who possesses the second golden cross. Chloe immediately expresses her distrust of the two men, openly stating her reluctance to work with them and attempting to leave. Sully, suspicious of her intentions, instructs Nate to check Chloe's backpack for the cross. They discover, to their dismay, that Chloe has already stolen it and is escaping towards the parking lot. A chase ensues, with Nate and Sully pursuing Chloe from different directions. However, she proves to be agile and elusive. As Chloe attempts to drive away, Nate intercepts her car, reminding her that she needs their expertise to locate the treasure, as they possess Eduardo Elcano's diary. Reluctantly, Chloe agrees to cooperate. Nate, skilled at deciphering riddles, has studied Elcano's journal extensively. He identifies a recurring symbol of a tree, concluding it represents a religious symbol. The trio finds themselves at the St. Mary of the Pine Church, whose emblem matches the tree symbol in the diary. They decide to search the church for further clues that night. Meanwhile, at the Moncada Foundation headquarters, Santiago Moncada expresses his displeasure with his father, Armando, who plans to donate the family fortune to charity. Later that day, Santiago meets his father in a public park for a final discussion on the matter. Armando remains resolute in his decision and returns to his car. However, Santiago orders his henchmen to assassinate his father. That night, Nate, Sully, and Chloe enter the Church of Pine, searching for clues to the treasure's location. They quickly discover a symbol on the floor indicating a secret crypt behind the altar. Nate finds a hidden button that reveals two keyholes at the base of a Mary statue. Using the two golden crosses, they activate a mechanism that rotates the altar, revealing a hidden passageway. Elcano's diary mentions two paths, one leading to heaven and the other to hell. This cryptic message leads the team to believe they need to find a tunnel accessible both from above and below ground simultaneously. They begin searching for a hidden entrance that aligns with this description, understanding that this dual access point is the key to unlocking the next stage of their treasure hunt. Nate and Chloe enter the passageway while Sully heads to the street to locate the corresponding opening. They use a geolocation app to maintain contact. Exploring the passage, Chloe and Nate discover a crypt ending in a trapdoor. They use their golden crosses to activate the lock, but the crypt begins to flood from a fountain above. Sully must find the surface-level opening to save them. He spots a keyhole on a nearby restaurant wall, but Braddock blocks his path, determined to steal the golden crosses. A fierce fight ensues, and Sully manages to incapacitate her. He hastily unlocks the keyhole just as the water level in the crypt reaches a dangerous height, saving Nate and Chloe. Sully discovers a ladder-like symbol near the fountain. He realizes it represents the two golden crosses combined into a single key. He drops his cross through a drainage grate into the crypt. Nate combines the two artifacts, creating a ladder-shaped key. Using it, he and Chloe enter a Roman antechamber containing large urns. Believing they've found Magellan's gold, they excitedly examine the urns, only to find them filled with salt. However, Nate discovers a map hidden within the salt, indicating the treasure's location is in the Philippines. Chloe seizes this opportunity, betraying Nate and stealing the map. She reveals that Sully has been hiding the truth about Sam before knocking Nate unconscious with her pistol. Sully finds Nate in the crypt and wakes him. Nate immediately demands to know what happened to his brother. Sully, with no other choice, reveals the truth about an ambush a year prior in San Sebastian. Braddock had attacked them, and Sully was forced to flee, leaving Sam behind. He believed Sam was dead. Nate is devastated by this revelation, grappling with the news of his brother's supposed death and the betrayal by Sully. Nate is shaken by Sully's revelation about Sam and questions his purpose. However, he decides to continue the treasure hunt with Sully. Meanwhile, Santiago reveals to have hired Chloe, as she delivers the map to the Moncada Foundation headquarters. Santiago prepares to travel to the Philippines with his crew, including Braddock and Chloe. Nate and Sully track Santiago's crew to an airport, where they observe the transport of equipment, personnel, and Santiago's prized red Mercedes to the Philippines. They seize an opportunity to hide in the car's trunk. During the flight, Moncada addresses his crew, expressing his belief that Magellan's crew betrayed his family. As he speaks, Braddock suddenly slits his throat, revealing a months-long plan of betrayal between her and the other mercenaries. They intend to seize the treasure for themselves, using Moncada's resources. Unbeknownst to Braddock, Chloe slips away and hides inside the Mercedes, while Nate and Sully emerge from the trunk to disrupt their plan. They retrieve the map while Braddock's men search for Chloe. Nate opens the cargo chutes, causing equipment boxes to fall from the plane. Sully parachutes to safety, but Nate becomes entangled in cargo trailing the plane, leading to the film's opening scene. Nate narrowly escapes falling to his death, only to be struck by the rolling Mercedes. The car, Nate, and Chloe plummet towards the sea. Forced to cooperate, Nate and Chloe deploy a parachute attached to a cargo box, slowing their descent and landing them in the water near a Filipino island. That night, they rent a room at a resort and examine the map, struggling to decipher its clues. Chloe retires for the night, leaving Nate alone. He devises a new approach, lighting a flame under one of Sam's postcards. A hidden message appears, revealing a crucial piece of information, a coordinate written in invisible ink. This breakthrough reignites Nate's hope and provides a new direction for their search. Nate deciphers the hidden message on Sam's postcard, revealing that the golden crosses should be used as compasses. Using this information, Nate aligns the crosses, their north points converging on the treasure's location. To mislead potential pursuers, he leaves a note with false coordinates on the desk. The next morning, Chloe discovers the note and departs on her own. Nate, confident in his plan, wakes up later and uses a speedboat to reach the treasure's location. However, Braddock, positioned on a nearby island, spots him. Nate arrives at a cavern beneath a large cliff, where two ancient Spanish ships are lodged. As he marvels at his discovery, Sully arrives, having tracked Nate using the geolocation app they activated earlier. Together, they enter one of the ships and find a vast quantity of gold stored in wooden boxes. Their celebration is interrupted by the arrival of Braddock and her mercenaries. Braddock takes drastic action, using 2 helicopters to airlift the ships, recognizing their immense historical value. Sully climbs onto one of the helicopters and disables Braddock's men. Braddock orders her remaining forces to attack, forcing Nate to fight on the ship while Sully attempts to maneuver the helicopter away from the cliffs. Despite their efforts, Braddock's superior numbers put them at a disadvantage. Sully manages to steer the helicopter into a cliff, destroying the second ship and losing half the gold. Enraged, Braddock focuses her attention on Nate, attempting to kill him personally. Nate tries to climb from the ship to the remaining helicopter, but Braddock grabs his legs. Sully faces a difficult choice: save Nate or escape with a bag of gold he had previously secured. He throws the bag at Braddock, causing her to fall into the ocean. He then pulls Nate into the helicopter as the second ship collapses onto Braddock, presumably killing her. As the Filipino Coast Guard approaches the wreckage, Nate and Sully fly away. Nate reveals he managed to salvage some gold bars and jewelry. Their celebration is cut short when they spot Chloe on a speedboat, heading towards the false coordinates Nate planted. The film concludes with a final twist, a scene in a prison, where Sam is alive and writing another postcard to Nate. This ending leaves the door open for a potential sequel, revealing that Sam's fate was not as Sully believed and setting up a future reunion between the brothers.